In Istanbul, Mi-6 agents James Bond and Eve Moneypenny pursue mercenary Patrice, who has stolen a hard drive containing details of undercover agents as Bond and Patrice fight atop a moving train. M orders Moneypenny to shoot Patrice. Despite not having a clear shot, Moneypenny inadvertently hits Bond, who falls into a river. Bond is presumed dead and Patrice escapes with the hard drive. 3 months later, due to a public inquiry into M's handling of the stolen hard drive, she is pressured to retire by Gareth Mallory, the chairman of the Intelligence and Security Committee of Parliament and a former SAS officer. Although she claims she is still useful, Mi-6 servers are hacked and M receives a taunting computer message moments before the Mi-6 building explodes. Bond, who used his presumed death to retire, learns of the attack and returns to service in London. He fails a series of physical, medical, and psychological examinations, but M approves his return to the field, ordering him to identify Patrice's employer, recover the hard drive, and kill Patrice. He meets Mi-6's new quartermaster, who gives him a radio beacon and a Walther PPK pistol. In Shanghai, Bond follows Patrice, but is unable to prevent him from killing a target. The two fight and Patrice falls to his death. Before Bond can learn his employer's identity, Bond finds a casino token Patrice intended to cash in for the assassination, leading him to a casino in Macau. There, Bond is approached by Severine, Patrice's accomplice. Recognizing her tattoo, he concludes she was a sex slave rescued by a criminal who now employs her. A man Bond wishes to meet. She warns him he is targeted by her bodyguards, but promises to help if Bond kills her employer. Bond thwarts the attack and joins Severine on her yacht, the Chimera. They travel to an abandoned island off the coast of Macau, where the crew captures and delivers them to Severine's employer, Raul Silva. Once a Mi-6 agent, Silva turned to cyber-terrorism and orchestrated the attack on Mi-6. Silva kills Severine, but Bond alerts Mi-6 reinforcements, who capture Silva for rendition to Britain at Mi-6's new underground headquarters. Q attempts to decrypt Silva's laptop, but inadvertently gives it access to the Mi-6 servers, allowing Silva to escape. Q concludes Silva wanted to be captured as part of a plan to kill M, whom he resents for disavowing and betraying him to the Chinese government. In 1997, leaving him to be tortured and disfigured, Bond chases Silva through the London underground and thwarts Silva's attack at a Parliament inquiry where M is present, instructing Q and Bill Tanner to leave an electronic trail for Silva to follow. Bond uses his Aston Martin DB5 to take M to Skyfall, his childhood home in the Scottish Highlands. They meet Skyfall's gamekeeper Kincaid, and together, the trio set up a series of booby traps throughout the house. When Silva's men arrive, Bond, M, and Kincaid kill most of them, but M is wounded. Silva arrives by helicopter with more men and heavy weapons, so Bond sends M and Kincaid through a priest hole to hide in a nearby chapel and rigs propane tanks to explode as the house and the helicopter are destroyed. Bond escapes down the same tunnel. Silva survives the destruction of the house, following Kincaid and M to the chapel. Confronting M, Silva forces his gun into her hand and presses his temple to hers, begging her to kill them both. Bond arrives and kills Silva by throwing a knife into his back. M then succumbs to her wounds and dies in Bond's arms. Following M's funeral, Moneypenny formally introduces herself to Bond and tells him she is retiring from field work to become secretary for Mallory, who is now the newly appointed M. Bond meets with Mallory and tells him he is ready to get back to work.